Sean is here this morning, and as he was promising earlier, talking about the sort of ongoing effects of Tropical Storm Harvey. Morning to you, Sean.
Yeah, morning. The oil prices have been a bit jumpy since that. There's a lot of production goes on in that part of America. Morning, everybody. The consequences of the storm will take some time to play out, of course, particularly with the families of those who died, those made homeless by the storm as well. But one of the more immediate effects around the world is that impact on oil extraction and refining around the Gulf of Mexico that they do there. Now, a quarter of production in the United States at the minute is offline, which has left a shortfall of over 4 million barrels of oil a day. Now, according to the RAC, that's likely to have a big impact on petrol prices somewhere along the way. It was thinking that the price of a litre of petrol could rise by up to 4 pence a litre, which would take the average price of fuel, for those who watch it, you'll know this, about 121 pence a litre. We've not seen that since December 2014. Let's have a chat about this a bit more now with Steve Irwin. He's from the Portland Fuel Consultancy, watches these things pretty closely. Steve, morning.
Morning, Sean.
How much of a link is there between that oil and gas production in America and what we see on our pumps here?
Well, oil, petrol and diesel are all global markets, and the US is the biggest consumer of oil in the world. They consume about 20% of global oil production. So anything that happens in the US markets will have an impact on the UK market and the prices of fuel we pay at pumps.
So when you see a quarter of their production refining just switched off for the time being, what impact has that had now? We've had a few days for it to play out a bit, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, refineries have all shut down on the Gulf Coast, largely as a preventative measure, but some because of the flooding and the risks that have been imposed because of the flooding after the storm has passed through. That has left a massive shortfall in the amount of petrol in particular that the US uses, as the US is a massive petrol consumer.
So do you think in the coming days, because we haven't really seen that jump in petrol prices, have we, yet?
No, we haven't.
What will happen?
There's normally a lag between what happens in the wholesale market and then what happens at the pumps, and that lag is somewhere around 2 to 3 weeks. The good news is that we have seen prices come back a little bit on Friday and again this morning. So on Thursday night it was looking like the prices were going to go up by 4 to 5p. Now it's looking like it's going to be nearer 2 to 3p in the next couple of weeks.
But still around the £1.20 for a litre of unleaded mark.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't seem that long ago we were talking about, are we going to get 99p a litre petrol? That must have quite a big impact on the industry when you see a 20% move in the petrol price.
Yes, it does. I mean, the prices that we saw at the start of last year were really underplayed in terms of how far the market fell with the oversupply and the shale oil production. So we've seen a bit of normalising of the market since then, back up to the £1.15, £1.20 area.
And when you see what the petrol pump companies are doing, do they raise, when the oil price goes up, do petrol prices go up quicker than when the oil price goes down? Because a lot of people feel they don't go down as quickly as they should when they can put them down.
No, not at all. I mean, we've analysed the data going back as far as we can, and there's no real evidence for this idea that prices rise faster than they fall. It's just that they filter through in the wholesale market. And of course, everybody recognises and notes mentally when prices go up, and especially when figures like £1.20 are hit, because you make a note, but you don't necessarily make such a note when they come back off a bit again.
And potentially another storm in America could make things a bit more volatile.
Yes, so we're watching Hurricane Irma at the moment, which is out in the Atlantic. It's probably going to be the back end of this week before we really know or have a better idea what track that's going to take and whether or not that's going to impact oil production after Hurricane Harvey has settled down.
Steve, thank you very much. Steve Irwin there keeps an eye on petrol prices. We're talking about interest rates in the next year or so. Petrol prices as well could be a bit jumpy in the next few weeks.
OK, Sean, thank you.